Okay, we got a hideout in here, hideout fifth wheel. This is what we got. Suffered some damage from an accident, I thought, and they fixed something on it. So, this is your typical RV roof. Got something popped loose right here. I didn't think that was a part of the issue. But something popped it loose, so we're going to try and reset that back in there. But here's what they wanted you to do. See how this caulking? They want you to keep slobbering more on, more on, more on. The only ones that put more on is a moron. Look how dirty this thing is. This is 2017. Look how dirty it is already. You can see some compromise right here. See that seam? You can see it going all the way down there. Yep. You can see how low that air conditioner is. It'll be easy for water to get up underneath there. All you got is that little gasket right there. That's it. So, same thing here. Slobber some more on there. Slobber some more on. They just want you to keep going around and keep putting that die-cord junk on here. We'll solve that problem. You don't have any protection in here. You can see that. That's pretty common. If I walk down here, maybe I'll run across a utility knife and show you. Yep. I'll see if we can cut into this. I'm going to tear this off here in a second. The whole roof. Oh, who was I kidding? There's plenty of protection under there. They've got some good old Gorilla Tape on there. That should do the trick. That ought to hold it. And, or on this side, usually we have issues around ladders, and typically around here, that's where you see a lot of the problems. Just looking at, I don't see where the actual roof breach was. All this here, that's kind of our mess. We're using it as a table to clean the vents with the other one beside us. So, maybe this is it right here. This be it, I'm guessing. So, this is where the problem be, right there. You can see you already got some issues right there. Look like they're starting to rear their head, starting to fail. Same with these, you know, like right there. See that right in there? That's going to be your failure point right in there. That's why these things need to be up on a curb. We just did a hideout as well. So I know when we do this, we're going to end up putting two pieces on here. See the way the roof goes and it tapers down over there. Then you come over here, and in front of the air conditioner, you can see it drops off. Plus it has camber this way. That structured membrane will not like that. It does not like it. You're asking it to do a lot. You're asking it to, you know, lay three-dimensionally, and it really won't. It'll only get 2 dimensions out of it. So we'll be able to keep it coming this way, and we'll get it to roll this way too, and then up this little hill. But once you come up this way, and that big drop-off going down, you'd have a lot of ripples and buckles in there. So we'll end up putting a heat weld up on there. It'll be fine once we weld it back together. It's the same material. It's like welding 2 pieces of metal together. But you can see how prominent this is already poking through right here, you know. And that's this coach racks and twists and flex, and that's what's going to happen. So, you know, it'll end up breaching right here, and then when it weeps in there, it'll get down behind the siding from here. If it breaches this, it'll get behind the siding, and then you'll have delamination issues. So, you know, like I said, we're going to get this one all fixed up, and then we're going to end up putting, there's a white roof, but he said he wanted tan, so we're going to put tan on here. It'll look pretty well. And that's our, that is our hideout so far. Should have some caulking around here. Doesn't look like very much in there at all. No, there isn't any. It's just sitting on top of there. It's sitting on top of it, but it's not actually on it, you know. See, that's just butyl. That's what that is. You want to take all that out. That's just butyl. When butyl dries out, then what happens is it will actually suck water back in. So this coach really should be sealed. That's for sure. And looks like someone slobbered Some silicone on here. That's how you know it's silicone. You rub your finger on it. See it? See how it comes right up? It won't stick. It doesn't stick. Look like the back wall. No way. Back wall is probably not glued on. Hear it? Back wall's not glued. So that would mean we have to take it apart to get it glued on there. I don't know if he wants to do that. So, but we will mention it to him and see, and so we will continue in that fashion. But that's our hideout so far. Like I said, we're going to get up here and start tearing all this off so you can see what's underneath it. I mean, I'm not expecting any rot or anything. Maybe a little bit of repair where that is on the shoulder, possibly. But other than that, it should be fine. So we'll be back. We're getting ready to take this roof off. You can hear some of the noise up there. And one of the things we do is we put these blue pads down to protect it. We've got some blue pads on the furniture. And then we start blocking up the holes to make sure that the debris doesn't come down from the roof into the coach. And then this one here is showing a little nick right here. There's a nick on this, on down the other end, and also on this slide out. But there's just a nick there. And then we do the same with all these other ones in here. So that's what we're looking for, is all the vents, and we cover them all up. So this way, everything is the way it needs to be. Nice and clean. That's what we want. Nice and clean. So, and that's why we protected the awning. We got some wrap on the awning to protect it. And then we go upstairs. And we got some of the roof off already. So the roof deck itself looks pretty well. This is the way they protect the edges right here where the two pieces come together. That's just drywall mesh. Then you got the heavy duty Gorilla tape. It may not even be Gorilla brand. I'm sure it's low budget. It's a low budget. So, see, a couple of pieces don't even meet right here. Same thing here. So, no, we're just trying to get this vent out of there. So we're working on all that. We even may get a little jazzy and see if we can pop a couple of these up and see what it looks like underneath there. See if there's any glue or what he wants to do with it, possibly. Alright, so we got all the decking off of here, insulation, cleaned everything up underneath it. And now what we're doing is going back around again with some more mold kill. Just to be sure, we've already dried it all out. So we hit it again. Now we're vacuuming up all the crumbs and all the baloney out of here. Get all that out. Now we're going to start redecking this thing and get it ready for the prom. Starting to get some new decking down. Let's see, we got some adhesive on there. I'm going to staple her down and get it done. You can't run too many screws in these things. You keep running screws in, you're going to split that right up. So that is not conducive. Uh-oh. Oh, look at there. There's no air hose on there. No! We got that there. We got the hose on there. Yuck, 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 yuck. Now we're loading her up. Some good adhesive. Adhesive. So strong. You got to emphasize it. Adhesive. Good stuff right there. Give your kid a whole mouthful of that like marshmallow. That'll shut them up for at least a few hours. Want some s'mores, kid? Come on over here. We gotta get another can. Run some more right there. Now we got these wires that come up through here, but you can see there's some metal in there, and we just didn't want it to get compromised. So I found this there's a tip to a caulking that was still fresh, so I fit it to go in there. See, we got that one, and over here It's the same thing. There's a metal one down there. See it? So we put that collar on there. Just plastic collars. So we put that on there. We'll check the rest of them to make sure, but here's some of the roof's already open, so if we see it in our face, we're going to get it, you know. I mean, this is still a new coach, and this is fine, but a few years down the road, it may not be. So I'm not so sure about what all that's about. That's a stock. That's a stock one. Looks like they just pinned it there to hold it till either the glue dried or something, but we'll probably end up taking that out. We'll check the rest of them and see what's up with them. So far, we've got some of the decking down over there, you can see. We still got these few sheets here to go. Alright, check this out. So the wall just came down, we just took it off. Not one bit of glue on this thing. So what they tell you is they say, hey, we use composite. That's why we can charge you $10,000 more. That's what this is. That is composite on the back side of this. However, what's on the back side of this? This is the main wall, all the way down. And the rest of the coach, that's Luan. They just put it on the back wall. So they can't say they don't put it in there, but they only use that one little piece. So the other problem we found is there's water coming from the tail lights, which drool down into the back wall, which is what we're going to go check. So, and then you can see all they have with these wires right here, and they were just floating in there. They weren't even notched. So they were just free floating behind the wall. So we're going to have to bring them around and get them proper when we glue this back on. So that's that. Let's take a trot downstairs and take a look at this. There's some old stock we got to put back. All that mess there. All right. So this is where we had some water coming down. Right in here. See, this is the composite in the back, right here. So, but like I said, right here. See, that's Luan, right behind this one. Okay. Really the water in there. So now we got to take this insulation out. It's wet. See all that dampness in there? So that's got to come out. So if you're wondering how safe your ladder is when you're hoofing on it, don't worry. They use quality grade staples to make sure this piece stays on well. Look at this joint right here. Look at that joint. You can fit your finger in there. That's what I call quality craftsmanship. That must be, well, it's really not too bad because, see, I got fat fingers and I can't get them in there, so they must have some Chinamen working on that. You'll put small finger in there, and then you put, that's enough gap for expansion contraction. That's what it seems like to me. All right. Let's go on the other side. Go under this scaffold around here. Man, I want people to see how dirty our shop is. They think we work and not clean. All right. Here's the other side. You see the water right there. And this one's, I don't know if I can wring any water out of that one. Oh, but that one is soaked. So we take this one out. Get some air on there. We could have to get blowers on it and dry it out. We'll check this one here. That's damp. Gotta go. Look how thin that insulation is. 1.5 inch insulation. This is actually decked insulation for air conditioners. So that's what it is, only 1.5 inches wide. So we're gonna get some blowers on here. We gotta dry all this out. At least it's not rotted, it's just wet right now. So we caught it in time. But that water was coming in from somewhere. Had to be coming in from the quarter mold or something, because this is dry. If it was coming from the lights, we'd see evidence of moisture here. Here's another good gap there. Quality staples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 staples. Rest assured, you are a safe person. So that's where we're at with this. And this is just for the lights anyways. This one is. That other one over there is for your ladder. So I'm going to ask the customer how much he weighs, so that may determine whether we fix that or not. If he's a fat son, we got to put something on there. Sir, you either go to Jenny Craig or we're going to have to reframe this. We're probably going to fix it more than likely. All right. Back to the nonsense. Now we got to skin it. We got to dry it before we do anything, clean it, and all that jazz. And we'll be back with more excitement from RV Roof Install Studio Productions. And we get all the decking on, so now what we're going to do is prep the roof. So you can see we got all the new decking on. We've got all our buffer strips in here. Those are all our protective strips. So we've got all those, and we're just putting a good coat of glue on here. And we'll get it obviously on the roll as well. And we're waiting for this to dry out here. Down the bottom, we're going to go get a couple fans on there. And we'll roll out the roofing. And so that's what we're working on right now. Trying to get her done. All right. Roll one side. He got clean socks on. He wore out those other ones. Let's go buy some new ones. So what we did, just rolled it over. And then now we got that heavy roller on there. So the next, flip this side over, glue it, flip it, hit it again. Alright, so what we got, all the glue on this side now. You can kind of see the sheen. It's all the adhesive that we got on there. And then what we do is we just roll her out. Just like a so, and it lays so nice. Oh, look at that!
Perfect.
Oh, beautiful, bonito.
Grass.
Oh, looky there. She looks pretty. Now we take the fancy dancy, one and only RV roof installer roller. It's a balance roller that I made. Really difficult. Got schematics on it. So now we just push her all out. And then we take that bigger roller that I used before and you splash her down. That kind of presets the sheet. That's why we do it. We take our shoes out just so we don't mark, get your black soles, and just walking around sometimes you'll get scuff marks. They're just hard to get off, so it just prevents us from having to do more cleaning, really. That's about us. Like I said, then we'll get up here with the other roller. This is the way GAF says to put the roof down. You need to use the big roller. So what we got going on, the way this transition is, I think I've already told you, but we did another hideout just like it. Just like it. So it's already up posted. But up in the front here, we've got a serious transition. Let's see if I bring this back a little bit, this camera. We got a serious nosedive on this. There's no way you're going to get that sheet to lay nice with all the camber we got going this way and the sheet coming up here and then flattening out, and then you're going to try and take it and go this way, sharper than that, and even more camber. This has more camber than what it does back there. You're not going to get that sheet to work with you. So we're going to end up coming back up here. You can see this, probably this line right here. We're going to come up here and we're going to weld another sheet down there, and we'll heat weld it right in there, about 4-inch weld through there. So on a commercial level, there's a 2-inch weld. So we're going to double that up, and that ought to be good. All right, what we got here is we're skinning the back. So we got some glue on, and all we did was just glue it all the way down onto the studs and everything, replace that insulation down there. And then we got a little piece to go on the top here, and we're going to start gluing the back wall to it. But then the other thing we had to do was we had to drill the holes for these wires, because all they do is have them draped in there. Obviously you can't do that. So, but that's where we're at so far. Now we're just getting some adhesive on it. You can see we're not being stingy with that glue. You believe this little cylinder here is almost $500. Sold by a company named Cha-Ching. Now we wait for it to tack up a little bit, and then we stick her. We'll stick her good. Stuck.
Watch that stuff go.
So we're going to do the same thing to the bottom. She's on there. Okay. Well, there. I think you need to get a little more on the top there, but that turn bar will cover that corner. Yeah. And that's what you can count on for $500 adhesive. Get the stick on there. We're just going to put a couple of pins in here to hold it for now. And that's us. You're crashing down over there. Oh, you hit our trays buckets up there with that long handle. Alright, so we got the wall glued here. I'll show you down there. Now we changed the spline out here. I'm not going to show you why we did it, but this spline is different than the other stuff. Where is that other stuff?
You got some downstairs.
Oh, the stuff that came out of here, that down there? There may be a piece down there.
Right here in that box.
Where we got? Ah, right here in this box. Okay, so this is, I call it spline, but it's screw cap cover, and it covers obviously the screws in here. See how we got the screws in there? Okay, well this is going to cover it, but this one snaps in like this, and the problem that I have with it, all it does is just snap in. The problem that I have is the moisture still can get down inside this track right there. It can still get in there, and it travels, and this is what we pulled off. You can see that screw right there. They had a little plate that went over it to kind of dress it out. But I'll take this with me and we'll head on downstairs here. So those water leaks we had really puzzled me, and I kept trying to figure out how the heck are those son of a guns going to keep leaking? Just in those weird spots. So what it was is they had this right here on there like that. See? And all the moisture got behind this piece and started wicking in there, and that's what caused it to rot. This is a little different. This one has a groove. See the groove? So it snaps inside it and outside it, so it keeps it all out. The bad part is I only can get it in white right now. I had a special order the black, but I don't have it, so I got to put something in there, and then we'll have to run the white on there as well. So that's about the best I can do. There's a little bit of white on this coach, so I don't think it'll be a terrible fix, but if it comes push to shove and the customer really doesn't like it, when he comes back for his inspection, I'll change it all out. So got to obviously cut the window out. We got all the lights on, and we got all this all refastened and glued back on there. So that is nice and tight now. Before it was flopping, see? But it is not doing that now. So that's so far where we are. And what they're doing up there is they're just screwing on that termination bar that runs all the way down the coach. That's what they're screwing on now. And then we'll cut the roofing on the back side. Go into the stairs here. So, see if I can get up in there. That track right there, the one that I showed you, that's the one they're screwing down. And then we'll end up cutting the roofing. Still gonna weld the curbs, so that just tells you where we're at right now to give you an update. And so she's coming along. She's coming along. We'll keep you updated with more on the set. Okay, so we got all our boots welded in over here for the ladder. I know someone was asking me about this on a comment, and it's real simple. We just weld it down, but you see the boots are down there, which is the same bracket that you have right here on the side. It just goes down. We just screw them down, and then we're going to load that. So we'll get that all loaded. We got the plumbing over here. Got all the curbs welded in. So what we're doing now over on this side, those two fine gents or putting the termination bar, the gutter rail, and everything on that side over there. You can see we've got some over here that needs to be put on. And we got all the curves welded in for all of this so far. AC to put on over here. This is set up for one of those Winegard automatic antennas. So the antenna will actually sit up on here, the feet will, and then you can adjust it. We can get it nice and balanced out, and it'll be groovy. And that's about it so far. We give you more updates as we move along. The next one is going to be a finished one, you know, the next clip, because that's all that's left. Just putting the plumbing caps in, putting a couple of things together. This on, we give it 2 strikes, caulking down the side, blah blah blah. Well, we're done. There's our awesome logo. Okay, so you obviously see the way we put it together. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the actual roof system, but you can see how we got the boots. Those are all filled in there. And we've got 2 strikes of caulking on here. But there's a 60 mil GAF Everguard. It's TPO, it's thermoplastic. And we've got the little stands on the back of the air conditioners. And we've got all of this welded right here. This is a 3-inch weld right in here, all of that. And it's not welded just right here, whole thing is. So we've got a counter flash up on both of these air conditioners here. What that is, so when the water rolls around this way, it's still going to roll down, and then there's another piece of counter flashing up inside there, and it'll hit under that counter flash and roll out, so it's not going to get in there. So the counter flash looks like this. So now if you get into a heavy storm, and it's really raining right now, but when you get into a heavy storm, that water is just deluged, just pushing across. You know, you're on the interstate doing, even if you're doing 50 miles an hour, it's a lot of water rushing across the roof. It's going to hit up here, and it's actually, it'll return back. I showed that on another video. I'm trying to think which one it was, but I put a blower on there and I showed it where it actually recirculates the air, but it'll push the water around this way, and it won't be, obviously you're going to get water on the top, but we don't want any water rushing across here. And this is called flashing, and this is a counter flash. And this is the way a commercial roof gets put together. That's why they don't leak. So we also obviously sealed up here. And if you notice, we don't have caulking all on these. You don't need it. First off, these are weatherhead screws, but when we put these together, we put same product up underneath here. We load it. So as this screw is turning around, it pulls the caulking up, but now it's on the shank and it actually glues into the roof. It'll glue into the frame of this, rather. And then you can see, like right here, how it made a little ring around there. So that's what it does. There's another one over there, and some of them are a little more prominent than others, but there's product that gets drawn up to the head. And you don't have to keep boogering it on there. It just looks terrible anyways. So again, on this front air conditioner, you get the same stands. You can see we've got all our plumbing squared away. There's another one over there. Now, even if those caps come off with a tree branch or whatever, if a cap come off of that thing, then it still wouldn't leak. There's just no way it can leak. It's all sealed in there. So they got the same detail on the front right there. So this is kind of a transition here, and we had to put another piece up on a couple of these just because of the way this roof laid out. It's really giving us a hard time on this particular one. We still got it looking real clean, and we got these strips right going down through here, you can see, to protect all the breaks of the plywood. We actually, yeah, we did take this plywood up and we redecked it because we had a lot of water in there on this coach. And we have a video up there for RV armor, but this roof deck actually felt pretty solid when you put your hand to it and your fist to it. It felt solid. Somebody over there at RV armor or one of those coating places, they would probably be prone to go over it because it really didn't show any signs of rot. I know sometimes they say they go around and they check it, and they probably do. But they would say, hey, that's pretty good. But if you remember, when we opened this up, all the insulation, well, a good chunk of it in this section was all wet. We had to pull it up. We had to get blowers on there, had to mold kill it. So we had that thing drying out for a couple of days. So, and then same on these, look at these boots we made here. You got a bolt that comes up through there, and then the antenna sits on there, and you just take that nut, turn it around. There's a nut on the underside. We lock them in together. And if you ever had any issues with this, whether it failed or if a tree branch happened to snag it the right way, you just take those right off, pull it off, unscrew your coax, go down to the store, get another one, put it back on, you're back in business. So it's real easy. That's the way the front of the AC unit looks like with the counter flash on there. And then on the side, like I told you, we put 2 strikes on there, and I'm going to explain why we do that as well. And this is a different spline. I think I explained that spline of why on this back wall, how the that other spline that I don't like, how it really caused those leaks. So we changed them out. He seemed to be happy with the white. He had no problem with it. I've got black ordered. But one of the reasons why we do 2 strikes on everything, and this is a good product, so I'm not trying to say it's a bad product. This is Lexel, but you can see all the air bubbles in there. So as you're going along and you're caulking that down there, you're going to inject one of those air bubbles in there. And as you inject an air bubble and you get down the road, these coaches rack, twist, and flex quite a bit. And as it does, one of those air bubbles in there may pop, and if they do, you've got a leak. So the best way to solve that problem is to hit it with 2 strikes. If you hit it with 2 strikes, well, what are the chances of having one air bubble over another? Probably slim to none. So when we put this piece on, this is the gutter rail. It's actually a termination bar, but we use the adhesive caulk on the back of it. Then it burps up in the top and we just strike it down. So really there's 1 layer. Then we go over it with another layer, what we call with another layer, because I want it really bedded in there. Then we go over it with that. So really, I guess you could say there's 3 layers on there. So we got that all squared away. Also on this gutter rail, not gutter rail, excuse me, this awning rail right here. This was loose down here. So we resecured that and then just put another strike of caulking. I did have some of the black left over. When I ordered it, they sent me a roll to make sure I liked it, like a sample. So I had a little left over and I just put that in there. And that's about it so far. So let's go over the roofing. I'll show you a sample of the roofing. Now if you want one of these samples, just let me know. That was my tape measure. Here's the sample we have right here. So if you want one of these, this is the main membrane right here. And then we have the main membrane, which is white, but we have it in tan, as you can see here, and we also have it in gray. So again, if you want one of these, we'll be glad to mail one out. You can see on the back, see all those little tiny squares? That's a mesh. And right up here at the edge, you're probably going to see a little bit of fiber on there. And that fiber is part of the nylon mesh that's inside there where it gets its strength. That's to resist impacts from hail or impacts from tree branches and so forth. There is a Fusion, no, I take that back, it's a Raptor that we did back in 2016. If it's not posted up there now, it'll be posted shortly. But boy, I'll tell you, that is a good testament of how strong this roof system is. That Raptor, the guy who owns that, he does motocross, and he is always down in these trails and everything, and he's dragging that big 40-foot toy hauler through the woods. And when you see the shoulders on those things and how much abuse it could take, we did that back in, I believe, September of 2016. But you'll see the shoulders are how raked they are from all the tree branches. Well, one finally caught it. He put a little rip in it, and it wasn't actually a whole entire rip. It was kind of a few pocks in it. So we did a heat weld patch on for him. But you can watch that Fusion because that's a good testament again of how rugged the system is. So, and this is going to be the same exact product that you're going to find on a hotel. You'll find it on an office building, a restaurant, a library. Same exact installation. So what we did over here is design these curbs up. And I've had a lot of people ask me, hey, can I buy those curbs? Those are proprietary to RV Roof Install, so we don't sell any of them. But even if we did, you'd have to have this one. You'd like all these custom boots, everything we make, every single one. And there's different ones that you can see that we make here. On the Cyclone, you'll see we made one for his satellite, and you'll see we made the whole footprint of the satellite come around and look almost like a key. So once we got the footprint of that, we designed that curb up so it looks like it fits, like it belongs. That's the way it was designed, and that's what I want. I want them to look well, but I obviously function well, but I want them to look well. Is make it look professional, make it look like that's the way it's supposed to be. I don't want to look all snotted up and, you know, the caulking not laid in right or anything. We really take a lot of pride in what we do. So, and even these bases, some folks have asked me these bases, if the air conditioner vibrates, if it would dig a hole in there. Well, there's actually a padding up underneath there. There's a rubber padding up underneath that shoe that we have. And again, we fabricate every piece here That's all, that piece has been fabricated here. The curb has, even the front counter flash has, those boots, everything's all fabricated here. So when we look at your coach, we look at it and say, hey, what does this coach need? And then we make it accordingly to it. So some of them are all custom fits. We've done 5-sided type of skylight lenses, and you know, whatever we need, we build it all to fit, so it looks like that's the way it was supposed to be. That's the way it was supposed to come in. So, well, we appreciate you watching. Now, you can go to rvroofinstall.com. There's a lot of information on there, and you can watch some videos on there in our gallery station. But if you're on our YouTube, you can also bounce to our Facebook, read some reviews and so forth, and you'll see the type of work we turn out. I don't want someone to have to pay twice for things. Now, we did rebuild this back wall, but one of the, obviously we went around the window because we had to take that. We went around the lights, all here, went around the ladder, and so forth. And the same thing, we went around this here. Whatever we could reach that could help out. He does need to have the rest of this recocked. We didn't do every single thing, but we do what we think may be an issue and get it squared away that way. So again, they're too expensive to do twice, so we try to think of everything possible. What next level could we do to make sure it doesn't leak? Now, one of the things, like I told you, that we did is, now that we have upgraded to that alone by itself is a big help. But now we went and even ordered the black. So we had to buy a ton of that black in order to get that product. They wouldn't make it in just 1 roll or 2 rolls. We had to buy, I'll have enough of that probably for about 4 or 5 years. That's how much I had to buy. So the RV industry, they don't care. They don't want to do it. So, but thanks for watching. And if you got any questions, you can give us a call at 423-475-7663. Or you can email us at contact us at rvroofinstall.com. And we deliberately put this on here. One, we're proud of the work we turn out, but also February 19, that's when this roof was installed. So when this customer comes back, we're going to be looking to see how the roof is performing. If it's not performing the way it should, then I can reach out, because we are the only certified RV roof installers in the country because of my commercial background. So we could reach out to the manufacturer and we can say, hey, this roof isn't performing properly. And if we can't figure it out, then we have a rep come down, and the rep will look at it and say, hey, it's this, it's that, it may be a defect in the material or whatever. I've never ever had that problem in all the 30 plus years I have in commercial work, but it's always good to know you can rely on somebody to come out and check it out. So, but we definitely wanted to have that on there. The other reason why the February 19 and that stamp is on there is, if he goes to sell this, I certainly don't want somebody to climb up there and say, sir, I'm gonna have to talk you down because I know these things leak and so forth. Because that roof was just put on. And we do a transferable warranty. The first 10 years will transfer. So now if you keep it for 20 years, you just keep coming back in and we'll do an inspection on for you. And we're going to be looking to make sure all the caulking is sitting well. We're going to check the welds. We're going to check everything. You come in once a year. That's just a smart thing to do on a commercial level. You do the same thing. Once you do the roof on a commercial level, you go back in about 30, 45, maybe 60 days. You want to check out your work. Make sure everything's done right, because now it had a chance to sit in the sun. It had a chance to expand and contract and do some things. You want to make sure all your work is doing well. And that's the same with us. We want to make sure our work is doing well. So once we get through the initial inspection, you come back once a year. Again, that's what you do on a commercial roof. Every year you should be up there. It's just prudent to do it to make sure everything is seated well. But like I said, we appreciate you watching. This is our hideout, our second hideout.